tigers have been abounded on the corner of France since the late summer of 1944, something like notches lurking in the river. It is beneath waters since the near of the city lure, the Tiger tank, that has left over the disastrous German retreat following the Battle of Normandy. There is only the intact Tiger 1 still left existing in France. Making the tiger the submerge in the river an incredible value relic, but so far the efforts to locate the rare beast has not been successful. But the rumors and stories of an abduction of not one but two tiger tanks in the river, the research of many historians, and that appears to suggest many more corrections that they might lose a 57-ton tigers for 76 years. The background to the story connects to D-Day and the Allied push beneath the combat lead of the German divisions. Bent of retreating, the back end cut largely of the Battle of the Fellow Pockets. Now two tigers came from the much feared Waffen SS unit, the 102nd Heavy SS Panzer Battalion, created in 1943. Such heavy tanks of the SS Waffen has been equipped with one of them stationary Netherlands on D-Day. Hitler still believed that the Allied landings would occur in Pasteur area. Being seen like the fate of the June 5th, the 102nd was moved to Paris, and the 1st and July assembly and attack now drove everyone to Normandy. Indeed, the main landing, mostly third weeks of 102nd, saw intense British combat, and the Canadian forces now in the Yorktown. Now, between the July and 20th of August 1945, 200 Allied tanks were destroyed with anti-tank guns, 19 half-tracks and gun carriers were killed, and 35 trucks are in progress. Now, it is the Tiger from the retreat of the Ren River. The 102nd remaining Tigers were abandoned on the river's attempt to cross. The question is how to pinpoint the 102's lost tank. The sins of the first noted the Lost River, and now, the 21st of August 1944, the command has various said the attempt to cross the Vernon River with the equipment of the barrage. The location given to these sits on bends, and now the river of the South Ure. The SS noted that the 102nd Tiger Divisions of Domlish and before losing the naval area, the naval army engineers between carrying sins and cranes to ships, tug and war, and now infrastructure keys. The sins of Barrel, around 5 meters deep, the Tiger would have posed a significant hazard for navigating across the former discussion that was linked for 25 years ago from a French collector that received Tiger 1 parts from this river, a private collection. The parts were considered bits of a gun mantlet, and the part of the pockets drive of the piece, the angled front turret and the turret on top, was very bad condition. The collector was told that the Tiger would be blown up on the river, preventing a national investigation of a hazard, preventing the U.S. Navy or Army to have this perfect sense attempt to recover this vehicle from the river. Now, consuming the blow on the most obstruction, I think so that the dismounting of the Tiger tank of the second Lost Tiger sounds promising to the Germans. However, they recorded 28th of August 1946. Now 3 Tigers have been lost, and now the first Tiger in command of the 10th and capsized. The ferry could not recover the German vehicles that were trying to cross the area. Abandoned Tiger 1 was found near the quays of the lake. Now, photographed and dragged into the 1950s and the 60s, there were no tanks of a 57-ton tank. all over sink beneath the river bottom. Most of the years underwater, the influence of having to search a tiger of the river, forcing the near Canadero for information from German veterans. Now, considering the lost tank of the 28th of August, they have been searching 300 meters downstream on the river of the military barrage happened, moving the armor from vehicle to vehicle across the influence of the tiger. Now, intact and buried in the river bed now seemed like no evidence, but the tiger has been having recovered from the river after the war, and the SS division not sincerely doubt the tank would be still there. Acceleration that nuts, and seemed to make a video. Some king tiger being buried on the road of a French village of the efforts to dig it up. Who knows how many World War II tanks and rivers are buried now? Just wait for another one to be recovered. For example, there was a Panther tank that recovered the bog of Ukraine some years ago on display on the Technician in Zima, Germany. Now, it still keeps on coming. Buried Panther and the Poland in 2016. Any efforts to raise the Europe tiger is challenging, not at least financial complaints, and you would never see the tiger again actually raised from the Panther and the relics of the good condition, because it has been preserved by Ukrainian bog, where any tiger on the river that may now be reduced to just rusted junk. But never say never. You'll see the photos when you search up tiger. This is the tiger in French River.